"Do you think you can handle this giant tub?" The widow, a hefty woman, asked the young cowboy. Thomas stopped repairing the horse's saddle and looked at the woman before him. She leaned on the fence post, dressed in an expensive outfit that seemed far too tight. The midday sun made her face sweat, but her gray eyes watched him with an intensity he couldn't ignore. "Excuse me, ma'am," Thomas said. He removed his hat and ran a hand through his light hair. "Don't play dumb, boy. I saw the way you looked at me during the entire race. At first, I thought you were just another curious onlooker, but you kept staring even after my horse lost." Martha wiped her face with an embroidered handkerchief. "I'm 42. I weigh over 120 kilograms, and I just buried my third husband. I don't have time for games." Thomas felt his face flush. It was true. He had been watching this large, imposing woman in the grandstand of wealthy farmers. She cheered for the horses with energy that belied her size. She laughed loudly when other bettors lost and ate pieces of pie, ignoring the judging eyes around her. "I was watching, yes, Mrs. Martha. Everyone here knows you. Everyone knows my money and my lands." "Are you saying—" Martha stepped away from the fence and approached him. Her steps were firm despite her size. "But you didn't look at me the way other men do. They see a fat cow with a valuable farm. You look differently." "How did I look?" Thomas asked. "As if you were hungry and I was a full banquet." Martha laughed, a raspy, genuine sound. "How old are you?" she asked. 23. "Where do you work?" she continued. "At Colonel Peterson's stables. I take care of Ras horses." Martha nodded, assessing his lean, muscular body. Thomas had the tan skin of someone who spent days under the sun, calloused hands and scars on his arms from working with high-strung animals. "How much do you earn a month?" she asked. $50 and a place to sleep in the barn." "That's a shame," Martha said, crossing her arms. "I'll be straight, Thomas. I need someone on my farm who's strong, who can work, who isn't afraid of a woman with character. I pay $150 a month, your own house on the property, 3 meals a day, and other benefits." "Other benefits?" Thomas asked. Martha stepped closer, close enough for him to smell her expensive perfume mixed with the scent of sweat. "I'm a widow, boy, not dead. For 2 years I haven't had a man in my bed, and I can't stand being alone any longer. I need company, someone who will make me feel alive again." Thomas swallowed. The proposition was bold, direct, and entirely unexpected. Yet something about this woman had captivated him ever since he first saw her months ago when she arrived at the racetrack in her expensive carriage. "Are you offering me a job or a marriage?" Thomas asked. "I'm offering a partnership. You work my lands, care for my horses, keep me warm at night. I'll take care of you, guarantee your future. And when I die, which I will long before you do, to my age and size you'll inherit half of everything. And if it doesn't work out, you leave with the money you've earned fairly and find another life." Martha extended her fleshy hand. "So, can you handle this giant tub or not?" Thomas looked at her outstretched hand. It was madness. She was too old, too fat, too forward. But he was tired of sleeping in a barn, tired of eating scraps, tired of watching other men build their lives while he only tended horses unnoticed. And there was something about this woman that excited him in a way he didn't fully understand. "Can I try before I decide?" Thomas asked, surprising even himself with his boldness. Martha let out a loud laugh that made several grooms turn to look. "What a bold boy. I like you even more now." She gestured toward the luxurious carriage parked by the exit. "Let's go to the hotel. I've got a room reserved in case the races end late. You'll get your trial, and I'll see if you truly fit, or if it's just talk." Thomas tied his horse to a post and followed Martha to the carriage. Cutcher didn't even blink when he saw the mistress enter the hotel with an unknown cowboy. Martha climbed the stairs unhurriedly while Thomas carried her bag. The room was enormous, with a reinforced double bed and expensive furniture. "Lock the door," Martha commanded, removing her hat and letting her gray hair down. Thomas obeyed, feeling his heart race. "Now take off your shirt. I want to see if you're as strong as you seem." He slowly removed his shirt, revealing the defined chest and muscular arms. Martha approached and ran her hands over his body without hesitation, studying each muscle. "Have you ever been with a woman?" she asked. "Yes, ma'am," he replied. "A woman my size?" She pressed. "No, ma'am." "Then listen carefully." Martha began removing her dresses, revealing layers of petticoats and finally her large, soft body. I won't ask you to pretend I'm a slim girl. I'm big. I have stretch marks. I have cellulite. I have everything a woman my age and size has. If that bothers you, better leave now. Thomas looked at her, huge, sagging breasts, protruding belly, thick hips. It was nothing like the skinny prostitutes he knew, yet his body still responded. That doesn't bother me, he said hoarsely. Then show me. Thomas leaned in and kissed her. Feeling her fleshy lips open beneath his, Martha pulled him onto the bed, making the mattress creak under both of them. Slower, she whispered, we have all night for you to prove you can handle me, and Thomas did. Thomas woke with the sun streaming through the heavy curtains of the hotel room. Martha's body pressed warmly and softly against his. She softly snored, one hand resting on his chest. He tried to move without waking her, but Martha immediately opened her eyes. Trying to run away? She asked sleepily. No, ma'am. I just didn't want to wake you. Call me Martha when we're alone. And you can wake me anytime you want, especially the way you woke me at midnight. She smiled and ran her hand over his stomach. So, you passed the test. Thomas turned to look at her. In daylight, Martha seemed even bigger, but also more beautiful. She had wrinkles around her eyes from frequent smiles, and her gray hair was charmingly tousled. I think I passed the test, he replied, feeling clever. Martha pinched his arm lightly. But don't think this is all. The farm will be real work. I have 100 head of cattle, 30 horses, and 1,000-acre property. My manager is good, but he's old and needs help. You'll work hard day and night. At night, you'll keep me warm and make me forget I'm a lonely widow. Martha got out of bed without shame. Let's have breakfast. I need to return to the farm today, and you're coming with me. You'll take your things from Colonel Peterson's barn and tell him you're not coming back. Over breakfast at the hotel restaurant, Martha explained the situation further. My 3 husbands died. The first of pneumonia. The second got kicked by a horse. The third had a heart attack in bed with me. She took a sip of coffee. Neighbors say I'm cursed, that I killed my husbands by demanding too much. Nonsense, of course. But the rumors exist. I don't care about rumors. You should. People will talk. Say you're only with me for money. They'll say worse about me, being much younger. I can handle that, Thomas said, cutting a piece of bacon. I've spent my life being treated as a disposable worker. I think I can handle a few rumors. One more thing. I don't want marriage. I've been married 3 times and don't need a piece of paper to confirm what we have. We'll live together, work together, sleep together. If one day you want to leave, you can. But while you're on my farm, you're mine alone. No town girls. No flirting with neighbors' daughters. Understand? And you, Martha. Thomas raised an eyebrow. What about me? She asked. You'll be mine alone too. She smiled, pleased with the question. Smart boy. Yes, I'm yours alone. I don't have the energy to deal with more than one man. I barely managed with you yesterday. After breakfast, they went to Colonel Peterson's barn. The old man was shocked when Thomas asked to resign, but didn't try to stop him. Everyone knew working for Martha Winchester was the best opportunity. The carriage ride to the farm took 3 hours. Martha talked the entire way, explaining the business, the staff, and problems with neighboring property owners trying to buy her land. The farmer Sullivan's son has proposed twice. 30 years old, handsome, well-mannered, but an idiot who only wants my land to combine it with his father's. At least you're honest about your intentions, Thomas said. The Winchester farm was impressive. A large 2-story house, a huge barn, well-kept paddocks, and magnificent horses grazing in fenced fields. Staff watched curiously as Martha stepped from the carriage with Thomas. This is Thomas, she announced to the gray-haired manager, Josiah. He'll live in the house and help me manage the property. Treat him with respect. Josiah sized Thomas up. He knows horses, worked 5 years at Peterson's stables, knows everything about breeding and training. Then welcome, boy. We've got plenty of work here. Martha led Thomas into the house. It was even more luxurious inside, with imported furniture and expensive finishes. This was my last husband's bedroom, she said, pointing to a closed door. I haven't entered it since he died. My bedroom is here. Her bedroom was enormous, with a large reinforced bed, a walk-in wardrobe the size of a small room, and windows overlooking the fields. You'll sleep here with me? There's a bathroom next to the large tub I specially ordered for myself. It's expensive to keep the water hot, but I love baths. Thomas placed his small suitcase on the floor. Everything he owned fit in that old suitcase. This feels like a dream. He admitted, it's no dream. It's hard work and an unusual partnership between a fat widow and a poor cowboy. But it could work if both are honest. Martha approached and held his face in her hands. Just promise me one thing. What? Thomas asked. Don't lie to me. If you grow tired of me, of this life, if you meet someone younger and prettier, tell me immediately. I don't tolerate betrayal or lies. I promise, Thomas said. Martha kissed him along. Deep kiss sealing their agreement. The first months were an adjustment period. Thomas worked from sunrise to sunset, helping with cattle, training horses, and repairing fences. The work was hard, but Martha kept her word. Abundant meals 3 times a day, timely pay, and warmth in bed at night. Neighbors talked. At town events, Thomas heard whispered comments. Some women looked at him with envy, others with contempt. Men joked about him working himself to death to please a fat mistress, but Thomas didn't care. For the first time in his life, he had a real home, guaranteed meals, and a woman who truly desired him. Martha was demanding and authoritative, but also generous and loyal. She laughed at his jokes, listened to his stories, and treated him as a partner, not a worker. One night, lying in bed after making love, Martha asked, "Are you happy here?" "Happier than I've ever been anywhere else," Thomas replied. "Don't you miss younger, slimmer women?" she asked. Thomas turned to her. "Do you really want to know?" "Yes," she said. "At first, I thought I would, but I don't. You're more of a woman than anyone I've ever known. You fear nothing. You don't pretend to be someone you're not. You don't treat me like trash. And when we're together," he ran a hand over the broad curve of her hip. I forget everything except you." Martha was silent for a while, then wiped away a modest tear. "Your 3 husbands were lucky," she said. Thomas continued. "And I'm even luckier to have met you at that racetrack." Martha repeated her opening question, but now with a smile. "Do you think you can handle this giant tub?" "I can," Thomas said, pulling her closer. "For life, if you let me, and for the first time in years." Martha Winchester believed she wouldn't be alone until she died.